In a quiet town called Albertina, there was an old broken house that no one ever went into. It stood at the edge of the forest, hidden by twisted trees and thick vines. The people in town told scary stories about the house, saying it was haunted by something worse than ghosts. Ella had heard these stories all her life. When she was a little girl, she and her friends dared each other to go near the house, but none of them ever got close. Now, Ella was grown up, and even though she didn't believe in ghosts, she was very curious about the house. At night, when the wind blew hard, she thought she could hear strange whispers coming from the shadows around it. One evening, as the sun was setting and the sky turned dark purple, Ella made a choice. She grabbed a flashlight, and even though she felt a little scared, she decided to go to the old house. As Ella got closer to the house, the air felt colder. The trees that once seemed normal now looked spooky, their branches reaching like claws into the sky. When she stepped onto the porch, the old wood creaked under her feet. She stopped for a moment, but the door, hanging on rusty hinges, creaked open a little as if it was waiting for her to come inside. Inside the house, the air was thick with dust and it smelled old and rotten. Cobwebs hung in every corner like old curtains. Ella's footsteps echoed through the empty halls as she walked deeper into the house. Her flashlight shone weakly, showing broken floors and walls that seemed to groan. Then, Ella heard something. It was a soft whisper. At first, she thought it was her imagination, but the whispers grew louder as she walked further in. She couldn't understand the words, but it sounded like many voices all talking at once, just out of sight. "Hello?" Ella called out, her voice shaky. The whispers stopped, and suddenly it was too quiet. Her flashlight flickered, and strange shadows danced on the walls. The air felt heavier, as if the house itself was closing in around her. Ella reached the bottom of the stairs and stopped. Her heart was racing. Something didn't feel right. Suddenly, she heard a soft noise from upstairs. Ella's breath caught in her throat. Even though she was scared, she started climbing the stairs. Each step made a creaking noise. The whispers came back, this time louder and more hurried. At the top of the stairs was a long hallway with old paintings on the walls. The faces in the paintings seemed to watch her as she walked by. Her flashlight flickered again, and she saw something move at the end of the hall. Swallowing her fear, Ella walked toward the last door. It was slightly open, and from inside she could hear a sound. Breathing, slow and deep. Her hands shook as she pushed the door open. The room was dark, except for the faint beam of her flashlight. Ella could feel something was in the room with her. The air felt thick and heavy. As she moved the flashlight across the room, she saw a figure in the corner. It was a woman, but she didn't look alive. Her skin was pale and stretched too tight over her bones. Her eyes were dark and sunken. The woman stared at Ella with a strange, twisted smile. She was moving her lips, but no sound came out. Instead, the whispers got louder, swirling around Ella like a storm. Ella's heart was pounding. She stumbled back and the woman stood up. Her movements were jerky, like a puppet. She reached out a bony hand toward Ella, her lips still moving in silent whispers. Panicking, Ella turned to run, but the door slammed shut behind her with a loud bang. The whispers were so loud now they filled Ella's head, making it hard to think. She could feel something creeping up behind her, cold fingers brushing the back of her neck. Ella screamed, but no one heard. The shadows swallowed her scream.